Talking all things entertainment, this is Sherri Pullum in the studio with Dreamers Unite. Mental health and creative healing with actor, singer, author Sanetta Gipson. Hey Dreamers, and welcome to In the Studio with me, Sherri Pullum. Thank you so much. I just am so grateful and appreciative every time you come to this channel to support not only me, but our wonderful guests that bring you lots of golden nuggets to inspire you higher. Because after all, this is a community where we dream and share and manifest. And talking about sharing, dreaming, and manifesting, well, I have the perfect guest for you today. Her name is Sanetta Gipson. She is a triple threat. That's right. She is a singer, an actress, and now she is an author. We are going to talk about her journey, her career as a professional artist, and we're also going to take a deep dive into her very personal memoir, Our Family Secrets. Oh, Sanetta, welcome to Dreamers Unite.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. It's such an honor. Thank you so much.
Oh, it is a pleasure and an honor for you to be here. You're amazing.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm like, am I even worthy to be here? But thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. Of course you're worthy to be here. So let me just tell, listen, let me tell our dreamers, because I call our community dreamers. And I think we'll all agree, and I said it many, many times here, we are all dreamers. Every single one of us. There's nothing on this planet that you could smell, taste, touch, see, feel, nothing that did not come from a dream. So you were dreaming since you were like 9 years old, okay? You were winning talent shows. You were runner-up Miss Black Illinois. You're talking about not being worthy, please. You sang with some of the greats like Chaka, Luther Vandross, Ice Cube. So how did all this happen?
It was kind of, I just never let the dream pass me because my family did not want me to go into entertainment like at all. So I went to school initially with trying to get an accounting degree because that's what my sister was doing. And my first accounting class, I went, oh Lord, I can't do this. It's not for me. Not that I couldn't do it, but I'm like, I'm not the cubicle type at all. I love math and science, but I just couldn't do that. So I said, okay, I know what's close. I'll do like television, broadcasting and that kind of thing. So I got my degree. My degree is actually speech and drama with a communications minor. And my first job was at a television station in production. And I was like, yay, I'm doing it, right? But it was so stressful and, I learned a lot, but I realized it's not what I want to do. And so I went back to Chicago and got into theater. And my first job was actually understudying someone, but it was at a Black theater. And the gentleman there, he said, you know what, just keep going. And I ended up being Cinderella and doing Little Shop of Horrors like 3 times and just all these fun shows that I loved doing. And then I came out to California and I met the Waters. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Aren't they amazing? This wonderful background singing, just for people that don't know. They're sisters and a brother, and they sung for everybody. And they had, at the time, they were singing with Adam Sandler. They were on his album, and he was doing a tour. And Adam asked them, or his people asked them if they wanted to go on tour, and they were like, not for that little money, but I know somebody who would. And that was me.
Oh, so my goodness.
I auditioned and I got it. So I ended up on tour with Adam Sandler and I was doing commercials and, started singing with other people there that way. So it was like, yay.
Yay, you. That is tremendous. And for everyone listen, for dreamers out here, really, your story is such an inspiration. And now you are launching or writing your very personal memoir, Our Family Secret. So before we dive into the book itself, I want to give people some context around, because it does deal with your mom and her mental illness journey and your dad. And it's a very personal story where you're so vulnerable. But let's start with just talking about the relationship with your mom. And then we'll talk about the relationship with your dad. And we're going to play a little piece of his audio. Okay?
Okay, that sounds good. My mom was diagnosed as bipolar. She had bipolar disorder, and ever since I was born, I was like born into it. So I knew nothing else other than this woman, going in and out of the hospital my entire life. So, as far as dealing with her or knowing her prior to her being ill, I didn't know any of that. As a matter of fact, the picture that you're going to see, I don't remember that woman. I don't remember that woman's face, honestly,
Wow.
because there was an incident where she was missing for a few days. And when she came back, her face was broken and bloody.
Oh.
And it was so traumatic for me that I don't even remember my childhood before that. I don't remember what she looked like. I don't remember anything about myself before that. I just remember that incident and everything behind that. So that picture that you guys are going to see, I don't even remember seeing that woman. I don't remember that woman. So it was really traumatic for me. But
that is traumatic. So where does your first memory come in with your mom? That is your very first memory. Oh, that's what you were saying. You don't remember anything prior to that other than her coming broken, bloody. Wow. And how old were you then?
Maybe 8.
Yeah. Wow.
Really young. It was around Christmas time, which was a really hard time for her. Every Christmas, she had some kind of breakdown. Either she would be in the closet, we would find her in the closet, or she would be gone, or she would just stop taking her medicine and have these, elaborate, kind of
episodes.
Oh, thank you. Episodes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit offline, and one of the things that you said to me was, it's painful, but it's truthful. That you said, you know what, until I really understood my mom, I really didn't like her. Like, I really hated her. Those are strong words, but I'm using the words that you said to me, because there could be someone else out there in your exact same, walking in your shoes. So talk to me and us about that.
Well, I think a lot of that was because nobody talked to me about my mother. So I just was kind of thrust into this situation, going to visit her at, mental hospitals all my life, or having her embarrass me in school, coming up to the school and she's having an episode, or, walking in the streets nude. It's just so much. So, as a teenager, I'm like embarrassed. I hate her, all these things. Like, I don't want her around me, and just, oh my God. Until I became a woman myself, an adult myself. And I started to understand, like, oh, she's a woman. Because, you look at your mom and your teachers and stuff as like, you don't see them as people.
Yes.
I said, oh, she's a woman. Okay. Oh, obviously she did not want this for her life. She, had dreams and goals and all these other kind of things. Oh, okay. She loves her husband. I'm her child. And she probably, feels really sad that I hate her. I mean, I had all these revelations as an adult, as a woman, and I started looking at her differently. And I'm glad I had that. I'm so glad.
Yes.
That, because some people don't, just like whatever. But yeah.
I'm so proud of you for sharing. It takes so much courage. It just takes so much courage. And I'm so proud of you for, sharing your story in this way. And again, as you said to me, you want to help other people. And we're going to play a little piece of your dad's audio. Yes, because that really is a little bit of the framework, so to speak, in your book, right? And it inspired you, and it helps you to also get to know their relationship and their beautiful, because it really was a love story. So their beautiful love story. So let's play a little piece of this audio, and then we're going to talk more about it, okay? All right.
Once you become involved with anything in your life and that thing becomes part of you, you just don't just say, well, I'm through, I'm walk away. It's not that easy. See, when I met Lou, I thought that she was the person from the get-go because I like to talk, and here I have a woman that I can talk to.
That's correct too.
I got a woman I can talk to on any level. Anything I want to talk about.
Yeah, that's rare to find.
You understand?
It's rare. Okay.
And not only am I just talking, I'm learning something. When I talk to her, I learn something.
Oh, that is so good. So tell us, he was there recording it with your uncles were there too. And it just sounds like he was in it and committed.
Definitely. He found the love of his life. That's what he told me. She was the one. She was the love of his life. And so, my daddy.
I know. I feel it too. Yeah. I always needed a little tissue, I think. So you were able to take these audios and listen and start really probably unpacking. Can you tell us a little more about that?
I learned so much about her in that she was this really beautiful, she was a genius. He called her a genius. Just this outgoing, talented person who didn't get the chance in life that she deserved. He calls her Cinderella. He says this is a Cinderella story because she was thrust in a household with my great-grandmother, who she found out was her grandmother that she thought was her mother for like probably the first 10 years of her life. And my great-grandmother used to make her do all these chores and she had 15 kids. And most of them were boys.
Wow.
But my mother had to chop wood, get up and make breakfast for everybody, do all these things. And she still excelled. She would have been valedictorian, is what I was told. She would have been she was supposed to be valedictorian of her class, but she could not make her graduation because so much. She was raped and she got pregnant. So, and she kept the baby, which was my sister. But
wow.
But yeah, so it was just a lot, and she just she didn't know that her cousins, or her aunts and uncles, they were her aunts and uncles, she thought they were her sisters and brothers until she was about 10 years old, and so she never understood the mistreatment. She never got anything for Christmas. We saw all these things, and everybody else got all this wonderful stuff, and she never got anything. And her mom would send her clothing, and my great grandmother wouldn't even let her wear it. Just a lot of stuff that all mistreatment. And so my mom, growing up, when she would go into these episodes, she would talk about it, and I'm like, oh, she's just talking crazy. Until I got older and I listened, and my dad was like, she's telling us what happened with her, and she would name people and all this stuff. So it was just a lot. It was a lot. And I came to love her, and I came to understand, and I'm just like her, really. In a lot of ways. I'm a mixture of mom and my dad, because they're both like really, gregarious people and just fun loving. And they was just the nicest people on this planet. I mean, like seriously, and I'm so proud to have come through those two beautiful souls, regardless as to what anybody else says. I don't care, people who remember my mom had Her two closest friends were, both my aunties, not in blood, but they still my aunties, and they always loved her and they always brought her in and they never mistreated us or anything like that. So I love these women. I love her, because they saw her and they remember her for who she was. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so proud of that.
Yes. And I'm so proud of you. And I know they are too. And I'm sure wherever your mom and dad, we know where they are. You know what I mean? They're all around us. So their spirits are all around us. Absolutely. And they are definitely proud of you and the story that you are sharing. So what do you want to how do you want to make an impact, I should ask, with your storytelling? How do you want to impact people?
I want people to know, because when you walk down the street and you see all these people that are on the street homeless, yes, a lot of those people have mental illness, and they have people who in their families who love them. But right, because there's so much going on in our legal system, they close down because for me, fortunately for my family, there were still hospitals that, would keep my mom for 6 months to a year, whatever, until she got well. They don't have that anymore. So it's really, really difficult for the family to take in those people when they don't want to take their medicines and that kind of stuff. So I want people to when they walk past someone who's talking to themselves or they look dirty, whatever it is, to have some compassion for them and for their families. They're just not some crazy person that came out of nowhere. They have families who love them and who are still probably trying to advocate for their well-being. So just I want people to see them as human beings and people. And people love them. And that was the thing where my dad, he had every opportunity to leave her. And he just refused, because he knew, and he said this to me, he knew that she would be one of those people on the street. And he didn't want that for her. Not for the love of his life, he did not.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. And eventually, yes, he did have to leave because he was a bus driver, but he never stopped taking care of us. As a matter of fact, people didn't even know that he had left the house, to be honest. We would still take trips to Atlanta to see my people. We would still do things. We were still a family unit, but because, she would keep us up at night, with her ranting and raving, sometimes he couldn't sleep and he had to work. So that kind of stuff. But other than that, I'm so thankful for my dad being who he is. It's so funny because I see all these other YouTube channels and men are talking about, these simps, they treat these women, this and that. Well, my dad was the biggest simp of them all, and I'm grateful. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of him for being a man who stuck by his family and loved his children and took on another woman's child and took care of a woman who was ill and just all those things. I'm just proud of him. He's a hero. He's nothing but beneath a hero to me.
That is beautiful. And your dad is a hero, and your mom too. And I think, and I think what you said is so powerful. I mean, listen, dreamers, people, it is really finding, because, there for the grace of God could go any of us. Yes. Mental illness is real, and your mom suffered a tremendous amount of trauma. And we all don't know. We're all like this little delicate balance. So when you see someone hurting or in need, or maybe you don't even understand, just be compassionate and treat all people as human beings that that are loved and loved oftentimes. So, Sanetta, that is my little golden nugget. People, I'm just going to not throw it to you today, but I'm just going to gently remind you to have compassion and empathy for all people. So there's your golden nugget. Sanetta, what can you do to, just one little offering, I'll say, because on the show, of course, we've got to inspire some dreamers. You have certainly had this wonderful, wonderful career. So maybe one or two offerings. How did you transition into all of this? And maybe someone who wants to, maybe it's writing a book. You've also written a musical, and plays. So how can you encourage people, one or two simple steps to share their story?
I just never stopped. I just never gave up. And I went through trust me. Okay. It's funny because you said to me earlier, oh, you've done so much stuff. I don't really feel like that because I had such a long period of time where I did not, because I lost everybody. I lost everybody in my family. So I had to mourn that. And so I just kind of stopped and nothing mattered to me. I just say, don't stop, just keep going. Whatever is in your spirit, whatever is in your heart, whatever is in your mind to just do it by little bit. You know how they say you can't eat the whole elephant, at one time.
That's right.
Just like this.
Yes. One little, it's like an inch by inch. It becomes a cinch. Yes.
Yes. You'll see your progression. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I wrote a whole scene here. Okay. All right, I have a scene. Let me go for something else. Or, as a singer or whatever, just go out there and, just apply, even go on Craigslist and stuff and apply for stuff or whatever, and just start singing. Just go find somebody with a studio and get you some songs and start writing them. And, you'll say, oh, wait a minute, now I got a whole EP here. Hey, all right, you know what I mean?
That's right. Hey, I got a whole EP. Listen, and the thing is, social media is here too. So you can just pick up your cell phone and post and be that singer you always wanted to be.
That is true. Yeah, and I'm talking old school. I forgot all about that. Okay.
You can do it all. There is no limitation. The sky is the limit.
That's
Sanetta,
right.
thank you so much. You're going to stick around with us. We're going to go to segment 2 because we have our question and answer segment. So our question and answer segment is up next with Sanetta Gipson. So we are back with our question and answer segment. Sanetta, are you ready? Well, all right. Our question comes from Kadeem. So take a listen.
Hey, Sherri. Hey, Sanetta. Thank you both so much for this great conversation. My question is in regards to your memoir, Sanetta. I know you are an author and you wrote this amazing memoir regarding your mother. As an author myself, I'm in the process now of penning my second book. And in my second book, I am about to reveal some stuff that family members and people close to me may not be happy about. So how did you, in writing your memoir, how did you say, I'm going to speak truth to power no matter what anyone says or thinks, especially I think because in the Black community, it's like, keep that stuff at home. Don't be telling nobody stuff. So like, how did you say, I'm going to speak truth to power, tell my story, but also maybe on the other end have that thought, or did you have that thought regarding, certain people are going to be upset or mad at me at telling this particular story?
Ooh, yes, I did. I did. I had all of that happening because for me to tell my mother's story, I got to tell on some people. I had to tell about how my great grandmother treated her. I had to tell about how her aunts and uncles on her father's side treated her and pretended like she was dead when, all kinds of really just ugly things that I had to expose in that book. I know that as a writer and when I'm reading other people's stuff, you can tell when they're not really telling the truth. You can kind of tell it. And then it's like, how am I going to help anybody if I don't tell the truth? How am I going to, show what it really looks like and what it really felt like for us and help somebody on the real if I do not tell the truth about what happened? I want people to see the humanness in our family, in my mother, in my father's choices. And so, in my sisters who were gone, my sisters are gone. I am the sole survivor of our little family unit. My mom and my dad both had children they were both with someone before they got together. So the unit that I grew up with, everybody's gone. I'm the sole survivor of that. So for me to relate, what actually happened, I had to tell the truth. And it was difficult. The only difficulties in that was that it was so painful to write. Other than that, my dad said he wanted to tell my mother's story, and I wanted to honor what my father wanted me to do, and that's exactly what I did. So
that is beautiful. Thank you so much, Sanetta, for eloquently answering Kadim's question. Kadim, I hope that I'm sure it did, it resonates with you and you are able to move forward in your own personal memoir. So thank you for that. Sanetta, you are not done yet. We have one more segment coming up. You know it, dreamers. It is time for the Dream Game. So that's right. Dream Game up next. We are back. It is time for the Dream Game. Sanetta, you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Okay, so the first question, easy peasy. Are you living your childhood dream?
Actually, I am. Yeah, I'm so happy about it too, and I want more. And I'm so thankful that that for you to say to me, "Oh, you've done a lot," because I just poo-poo stuff away, and it's like, oh, because I see some of my other girlfriends who were they just continued to go on and sing with other people, and I just didn't do that. I had to take care of my sister's child and that kind of stuff. So for me, I felt like I hadn't done a lot, but thank you so much, Sherri. Thank you.
You are welcome. And you know what? You have done a lot, and we don't compare ourselves, right, dreamers? That's the first thing. That's the first thing to a kill dream is to start comparing yourself. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself.
Don't do that. I totally agree.
Okay, so no more of that. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow it here, Sanetta. Okay, who or what is your greatest inspiration?
Wow. Who is my greatest inspiration? I could tell you who made me want to be a singer. Minnie Riperton and the Emotions. You know why? Because coming from my background, I just thought everybody was other than me was special because I had all this going on, this trauma and stuff. And when I found out that Minnie Riperton went to my high school and she was my favorite singer, I didn't even know. Okay, she's my favorite singer, one of them anyway. The Emotions, and Natalie Cole. But she went to my high school.
Wow.
I said, oh my God, my favorite singer went to my high school. I can do this. I can do this. And then the Emotions are from Chicago. They are my favorite group. Oh my gosh.
You can do this. See, this is why Sanetta's on here, because it's just showing you, like, I could literally, you're like giving me such joy, because really it's showing that if Sanetta did it, if I did it, you can do it too. You can do it too. So thank you for that. Okay, so now dreams aren't all, we know, look, all roses, and you've already shared some of the really challenging times that you've been through. How did you overcome? How did you keep going? What do you think gave you that desire to keep going?
Thinking about my dad, and I really about my dad was the best friend. That's why I keep referencing my dad, because we just really close. But I had to really think about what especially my dad, but my family would want from me. And although I was so much more, but I used to be so depressed all the time, and mourning and just sad, and and I had to think, they wouldn't want that for me. They would not want that for me. What would I want for my nieces and my nephew? What would I want for them if something happened to me? I would want them to keep going on and be prosperous and do their thing and have fun and enjoy life. And I said, that's what they want for me. Let me go back into doing the things that I knew made them proud. Let me do that. I'm here. I think I had a lot. It's not a think, I know. I had survivor's guilt. So I didn't understand why I was still here. My sisters were not here. And
understood.
all of that. Yeah. So My sisters would not want me to be in bed and sad and all kinds of stuff. They would want me to go on and do the things that I love to do and to be an inspiration for their children. So that's
Yes.
what I'm doing.
That
That's why I'm here. That's why this is important to me. And it's funny because my niece did say something to me, and I said, no, no, no. You look at me. You look at me. If whatever you think you can't do something, you look to me. You look at me. And she said, okay. That's what I tell them. No, you look at me. I'm here. I'm here. I'm your example. I'm here. You watch me. You look at me. You know what I've been through, and you see where I am. You look at me.
well, you giving them that gift, you were able to also receive the gift.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Okay, 2 more questions. All right, drum roll, please. Okay, so you know what? We don't have a Dreamers Unite award yet, and one day, people, we will. Okay, so who, just maybe your top few people, who would you like to thank? Because gratitude is so important. So this is your opportunity to thank those who have helped you along the way.
My spiritual moms, Mama Debbie, and my boyfriend's mothers are always so good to me. Thank you so much. All my exes, I still love them all. All my spiritual moms, though, even like Reverend Della from church, where I was at her church. I just loved her and looked up to her like a spiritual mom. Mama Mary from the church. The Waters, I thank them for giving me that opportunity. And you know what they used to do, Maxine? They used to actually take me around to the studio with them so that I could see how to be in the studio like a professional background singer in the studio. I thank them for that. They didn't have to do that for me. They didn't have to do that for me, to get me ready to be out there and do my thing. I thank my Uncle Marshall from the Shy-Lights. He's not my blood uncle, but he's my uncle. He's Uncle Marshall. He taught me a lot about the entertainment industry. I got to see his strength. He's the last man standing of the Shy-Lights, and he's holding it down. I'm so grateful.
Shout out Shy-Lights.
Have you seen her?
Yes.
Yeah, he brought me out here to California, singing background with them, and taught me a lot about that, So, and I thank the universe for putting me in this position, like I said, coming through those beautiful people and giving me the wisdom, the wherewithal, or whatever I have right now. I'm grateful for it, because I see people who don't have that. There's some people aren't grateful for things, and some people just don't care. And I do. I care about people, and I just love who I am.
Well,
so
and I love your light. I see your light, and I can tell you're grateful. And all those people who you just thanked, you're going to have to make sure they see this episode so they know that you thank them. Okay. Last question. So this is a community where, of course, we dream, share, and manifest, and we want to affirm your dreams. So what's one of your dreams that's on the horizon, maybe with your memoir, that we could affirm with you?
You know what I would like, what I would love, because the memoir thing, that's coming. You know what I would love? That's a little bit more. I would love Will Smith to play my dad in the film. Once I write that film, I would love Will Smith to play my dad. He has everything that, even with the Jada thing, where he said, I'm not leaving Jada. See, we don't know what's going on. We really don't know what's going on.
The stars are aligned for that, Will Smith. The stars are aligned.
My dad would be he loved the Fresh Prince. He loved Will Smith. He loved everything about, and he just would be my dad. He has that gregarious personality. He's handsome, and he loves his wife to the end of the earth.
Yes, he does. My dad. Yes, he does. Well, let me tell you something. We are claiming it. Will Smith, Sanetta Gipson's movie. We don't know what the name is yet, but she's stirring it up. We're claiming it. It's going to manifest. And when it does, you're going to come back here and talk about it, because this is the first place in space where you shared your big dream. Will Smith, we're coming for you. We are coming for you. It's going to manifest. It's going to happen. Sanetta, you know, I could talk to you like all day. I really could. And, you know, you are just such an inspiration. I am so grateful that you took this time to be with us, to be with me, and just never doubt yourself. Never doubt how absolutely your spirit, your light that's inside of you. You have so much more to give, and I am looking forward to the many, many, many things to come from you, especially the movie with Will Smith playing your dad. All right. Well, thank you again so much. Dreamers, I know you don't want this to come to an end with this beautiful Sanetta. I know you don't. And all of her inspiration. You don't want it to come to an end, do you? But this is not really an end, but it is a chance so we can have a new beginning. So listen, we also here need your support. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, right? So we can keep going on, right, Sanetta? So we can continue to dream, share, and manifest and inspire higher. Because now really is the time for dreamers to create the world we wish to see. I'll see you again next time, right here in the studio.
Always, always. Always the one to catch the flame. The lines from a smell remains the same. A mother's love was not enough when they broke her down for being too tough. Maybe in time love will define. Put it together, let's say she was mine. Right from her heart, strong from the start.